Good morning, my dear friends. Let me introduce to you. I am P. Krishnamurthy, lecturer in English working at Government Degree College for Women, WANAPARTHY. Good morning to all of you. So I sincerely invite all of you to this video class. And we have been talking about various items every day. But today we are going to take up a very interesting and very useful item, especially for the young graduates and postgraduates who come from the educational institutions when they are in search of jobs, when they are in search of employment, they need to submit very important documents. So what's that? That you can say that. So there are many ways of presenting your information. So today we are going to talk very specifically, very precisely, in a detailed manner about the functional CV. So functional CV. What do you understand by functional CV? Functional curriculum vitae. Functional curriculum vitae. So before going very deep into the topic of functional CV, so let me say a few words about the present scenario in acquiring so many skills to in order to get employment in the society. So job sector, it is growing enormously, widely and globally to the people who have got qualifications and who possessed, who acquired the good skills. For those people who have got only qualification, who do not have any skills, I think they don't have any place, they don't have any room in this employment sector. So I would like to say to all the young graduates and postgraduates only one thing to you, that today is a day for all the people who have got extraordinary skills, extraordinary so experience, extraordinary qualification. They don't have any problem as far as getting employment. So the problem occurs for those people who do not have any skills of presenting, who do not have any skills of presentation. Of course, you are very intelligent in your academics. You are very supreme in getting a lot of grades and position. As when you were a student in any educational institutions, maybe in any university, you might have been regarded the best in that college or in that university only. But when you come to the sector of job, so that matters. That is very important, that you have to prove to the employer. You have to prove in the interview board. You have to prove to the that the personal manager of any corporate sector or any private sector, maybe sometimes even in government sector also, you have to prove that you have enough or sufficient skills and sufficient qualification that you can be the best choice for the company. You can be the best choice for any organization. You can say like that. So before applying for any job, so earlier times, maybe some 20, 30, 40 years ago, there was only one method of presenting your information in the form of biodata. So there was to be one performer, and every candidate who wishes to compete for any job is to submit the information in that perform only. But that scenario is changed. That option is changed as the things are changing, as the things are rotating like anything. So to change is inevitable today. So even in employment scenario, employment platform also, candidates are supposed to present the information in a very distinctive manner, in a very novelty manner. And that is the thing that is going to be so attracted, that is going to be so grabbing the attention of the employer only. So in job sector, in employment sector, so presentation of information matters more and more. I would like to say to all of you, my dear friends, presentation that matters more and more. That is going to be a pivotal role, that is going to be a key role in securing employment nowadays. You may be intelligent, you may be clever, you might have got very good marks or percentage at your academics, but you have to prove that, you have to know. So how many ways are there, how many methods are to present your information to the employee. So depending on the companies. So some of the companies are American based companies, some are European based companies, some are Indian based companies, some are government institutions. So depending on the company to which that you are going to apply for a job, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself to submit your information in such a manner that is going to be extraordinary when compared to some other people only. That's the reason that I would like to say that every method. So there are different methods of presenting the information, but every method is to grab the attention of the employer. What I mean to say to all the young graduates and postgraduates, whenever you are applying for any job, you have to pay much attention. So when you are preparing any CV, when you are preparing resume, when you are preparing any biodata, when you are presenting anything on a piece of paper and submitting to that employer, so that is going to be very important that you have to feel, and then only you can present it in a very innovative manner, and that is going to be an important thing for the employer. So every method is going to grab the attention of the employer. There are different ways of presenting information. Right? So I would like to say to all the people, there are different ways of presenting the information. Every individual has to feel that how best can I present about my personal, about my academic, about my so experience, about my skills, how best can I present the information to the employer, how to get the impression, how to create an impression in the minds of the employer. Like that, every individual, every so unemployee has to feel, then only you just create that novel presentation. That novelty must be there, as I have been telling you. There are different ways of presenting information. Based on the ways of presentations and submissions, the CVs are divided into 7 types. CV, curriculum vitae, has been the very, very prominent one nowadays. Whenever you apply for any job to any company or organization, so especially in the European countries and especially in a private sector and corporate sector, CVs are required. They don't ask you to submit your information in biodata. And some companies, they may ask you to submit your information in resume. But as today we are going to talk about the functional CV, and so CV is going to be very, very important matter for any unemployee. So what are the ways of presenting? How many curriculum vitae are there? You need to know. So there is one curriculum vitae that's called chronological curriculum vitae that we had discussion about that one in the previous video. And today we are going to talk about the functional curriculum vitae and what is the out. How best can we present our information through that functional curriculum vitae? Is it meant for fresh graduates? Is it meant for the people who have already experienced and we got a lot of experience in doing, and who wants to switch over from one job to another job, from one company to another company? Like that, we need to. So particular curriculum vitae are meant for particular occasion, for particular situations. So based on the ways of presentation and submissions, the CVs are divided into 7 types. They are chronological CV. So in the previous video, so we talked about it. What is meant by chronological CV? So what are the components of chronological CV? And so what matters in chronological CV? What is going to be included? How it can be presented? Everything that we knew about that one chronological CV. Today we are going to talk about the functional CV, the second method of curriculum vitae. So there are 7 methods of curriculum vitae, and the first one is chronological curriculum vitae. Second one is functional CV. Third one is combination CV. Fourth one is CV with profile. Fifth one is targeted CV. Sixth one is mini CV. And seventh one, non-traditional curriculum vitae. So like that, there are 7 methods, 7 ways of presenting information in the employment scenario. That's why every student or every young graduate who wish to compete himself and herself for any post, he or she is supposed to know at least 2 or 3 methods of presenting the information. So of all these 7 methods of curriculum vitae, the first one and second one, so these 2 things have become very popular and they are going to be very important in employment scenario. Now we'll talk about it very clearly. Functional curriculum vitae. We'll know about the features. What are the characteristics? What are the elements? And what are the features? What are the fundamental features of functional CV? why they are created. When we have chronological CV, what is the need of creating this functional CV? In what way this functional CV is different from that chronological CV? Chronological CV has got the information, but that chronological information CV is suited for one kind of purpose, and this is functional CV. Functional CV is also known as skill-based CV. You see the first feature. The first feature itself, it defines why this functional CV is meant for. It is known as skill-based CV. If you have excellent skills, if you want to project and focus your skills and to the employer, and you have to choose not chronological CV, but you have to choose only functional CV, that is going to give a greater room for you to expose your skills. That's the reason functional CV is otherwise known as skill-based CV. Functional CVs are job specific. Functional CVs are job specific. They are just very specific to the job. So functional CV is not a CV that is created and meant for all kinds of jobs. Just like, when you prepare any biodata, so you can send that biodata to different areas and different sectors also in securing a job. It's not like that. So this functional CV is job specific. When there is a vacancy for sales manager, and here you are going to present in your functional CV related to the information, related to sales being, related how best, what are the qualities that you possess as far as the sales department is concerned. So when you possess all the qualities or skills related to sales department, and you prepare only functional CV and present that one, and definitely you are going to get appointment. So the third one is functional CV highlights skills. Functional CV highlights skills and abilities rather than qualifications. Remember, my dear friends, functional CVs are going to highlight the skills and abilities rather than qualification. So in private sector, in governments, in the corporate sector, more emphasis will be on skills than your qualification. Of course, qualification is also going to be seen, but that is not the primary criteria for the people for selection. They would like to test, they would like to find out whether this particular candidate has got that job specific skills or not. That is the reason experience provides an extra percentage in our selection. So this functional CV highlights skills and abilities rather than qualification. Suppose there will be a notification for a job, assistant manager, a graduate, a young graduate is eligible to apply for the job, provided he or she is supposed to have the following skills: proficient in language and proficient in computer skills, proficient in assisting office management, proficient in interpersonal skills. When all these things are there, a student or a candidate who has got BTech with distinction, when he doesn't have experience, and he cannot be selected, and is not going to be selected, because here job specific skills are very important when compared to your qualification. Of course, they also see what can be the qualification the candidate has got. Yes, he is a first class graduate, he is an engineering graduate, and he has got distinction marks. Okay, well and good, we are going to select him, but provided he must have or she must have job specific skills. So skills are going to be very important. When you have got ample skills, when you have got enough skills, when you have got sufficient skills, and what is the method of selecting for presenting your information? The method is nothing but functional CV. So through that you can explore your skills and just to try to grab the attention of the employer for selection. So the second one, next one, fourth one, functional CV organizes or presents your skills into various categories. You are not only going to mention only skills, but you can categorize, you can organize, you can present so various categories. Suppose you have got 10 skills, and you can categorize those 10 skills into 4 or maybe in 5. Like that, there is a very good scope for you to present your skills in functional CV. So functional CVs, job gap. In functional CV, what have I know? Job gaps may be mentioned. That is also very important. Suppose a candidate all the time, in 1 year, he works in one company. Next year, he moves from one company to another company. The other year, he also tries to move from that company to another company because he wants to gain, he wants to earn more salary so than he is drawing now. Suppose in the first year, he draws 50,000 rupees per month. In the second year, so he is going to draw 70,000 per month. Maybe in the third year, he wants to draw 1 lakh per month. Maybe in the fourth year, he has got 1,50,000 per month. Maybe in the fifth year, that he is willing to apply for a job where they are ready to provide 2 lakhs per month. In that way, this particular candidate has put in 4 years of service in 4 companies with a different job background. That's why you can mention job experience also. Sometimes what happens, a person who works for 2 years in one company and he remains idle for 6 months. Again, he joins in some other company. So he wants to switch over even from that new company to some other company. At that time, 6 months gap is there. You can show that gap, and you can show that gap saying that I want to improve my skills, I want to enhance my skills. To enhance my skills, I just left that job and I just improved my skills, and I'm ready to project all my skills in the next job also. You have a lot of scope also in functional CV to express or to show your job gaps, changes in jobs, career tracks may be mentioned. In functional CV, what is the specific quality about this functional CV? And a lot of scope is there for you to present your job gaps, to present your varied skills, to present your skills in categories, in different categories also. And you can also mention your dislocations in your career. In your career, you might have a lot of dislocations. So for 6 months you work in a company, for 2 months you just remain quiet and you did not work and you did not do any work at all. Again, after 2 months you join in another company, work for 2 months. Again, you just remain silent and you didn't work. All these dislocations also you can mention. That provision is there. That I want to say to all of you. When you have a lot of dislocations, when you have a lot of changes, when you lot of gaps, all these gaps or dislocations and changes, you can mention only in functional CV. That kind of facility is available in functional CV. That's the reason those people who have got skills and who have got experience, who have got a lot of job gaps, who have got a lot of changes, who have got a lot of dislocations, they can prefer to select. They can prefer to select only functional CV that is going to provide all kind of facility, whatever you wish to present in that one. So next one, in functional CVs, summary of the career comes at the end. So summary of the career comes at the end. So the summary that you are going to mention at the end, your career, what you want to become, what you worked, everything that in the career comes at the end. So functional CV presents transferable skills. So you can present your transferable skills also. In one company you have one kind of skill, the other, when you switch over to some other company, you are going to improve your skill. You can transfer your skill from this company to that company also. And you can move from, suppose you have one skill and you want to learn other skill, you can just present your transferable skills also. Some people, they are not dynamic. They don't do any dynamic jobs. They don't have any dynamic skills. They always stick on to only one job. Always, there won't be any growth in their career. But some people, so they acquire a lot of skills which are transferable, which can be minimized, which can be explored whenever the occasion demands also. So functional CV presents multiple skills. What I would like to say to you, so it presents multiple skills. So just like as we say, all-rounder, I would say, in a cricket game, so all-rounder is going to be given to high priority in the selection. So he may be used as a bowler, he may be used as batsman, like that, So for every situation, he is suitable. Like that, here, when you want to submit your information, when you have got a lot of multiple skills, and the best way that you have to present your information, that is in so functional CV only. Presents multiple skills, and functional CV provides an opportunity to the employer to assess the personality of employee quickly. When you present the every aspect of you, you are going to present your educational qualification, you are going to present your interest, you are going to present your hobbies, you are going to present your multiple skills, you are going to present your transferable skills, you are going to present your gaps, you are going to present your changes, you are going to present your dislocations. So by examining all those things that you have referred in that functional CV, and it becomes very easy for the employer who is going to provide employment for you, it becomes very easy for him to assess your personality. What kind of personality this particular person who wants to come into this organization, what is your personality is going to be assessed by the way that you present through functional CV. That's very, very important. Let's see now. So, what is the structure of functional CV? What is the structure of functional CV? So, those are the elements, those are the features of functional CV. So, what are the elements and features in functional CV? But how is the structure of functional CV? How is the structure of functional CV that you have to understand? What is the structure of functional CV? How many sections are there in functional CV? You compare this functional CV to that of chronological CV. You understand? In chronological curriculum vitae, you have 6 sections. It includes 6 sections. In the same way, when you try to celebrate yourself by writing, by choosing, by submitting your information through this functional CV, how many sections are there in functional CV? And there are 6 sections in the functional CV. They are personal information, first one. Second one is skills and abilities. Third one, career history. Fourth one, education and training. Fifth one, interest and achievements and additional information too. Sixth one, references. I just read once again. So the 6 sections are here like this. Personal information, first one. Second one, skills and abilities. Third one, career history. Fourth one, education and training. Fifth one, interest and achievements, additional information. Sixth one, references. Dear friends, now we are going to study one section after other in functional CV. Let us take the first one. So what is there in personal information? In the case of chronological CV, so personal information comes in the very beginning. In the same way, here in the functional CV, you are going to have personal information in the very beginning, the first item of this functional CV. Here also you find the personal information, but it differs. It differs from that chronological CV personal information and that of this personal information of functional CV. Here you are going to elaborate. You are going to give extra information. There you are confined to write your name, date of birth, email address, postal address, and maybe contact number. Only 5 items that you are going to limit in chronological CV. But when you come to this functional CV, you are not going to limit yourself in presenting the information or personal information. You just extend yourself and you are going to present your brief personal profile also. You are going to present your personal profile your brief personal profile about your objectives, about your strengths, like that. So let us study this personal information. What does it include? So the personal information includes name, date of birth, age, postal address, contact phone number, email address. These are the 5 items which are very, very specific, which are very clear to be mentioned. So in the functional CV under personal information heading, name, date of birth, age, postal address, contact phone number, email address. And what is the difference between chronological CV and functional CV? As far as the personal information is concerned, so there also you mentioned 5 items. Here also you mentioned 5 items. Apart from these 5 items, you are going to include so some more information. So in addition to that personal information, you are going to present brief personal profile in 4 to 5 sentences about your key strengths and outlining career objectives in personal information in functional CV. So this is an extra information when comparing to chronological CV. There also 5 items are going to be so presented under personal information. Here also you are going to present so 5 items under personal information. In addition to that, in functional CV, you are going to write brief personal profile. What are your objectives? So this is an extra scope given to that job seeker. So only to know what is your objective, what is your objective, what is your ambition, what is your goal, what exactly you want to achieve, what is the intention of joining in our company, what is the intention of you to just get employment in this company, what are your objectives and what are your so, key strengths. So what are your strengths? Some people, they go on giving lectures for 10 hours also continuously. That is the strength of that person. Some people, they go on writing hours together. They may present books after books, books after books. So they have got writing skills. Some people, they have spoken skills. Some people, they have managing skills. Like that, the skills vary from person to person. So the company or the employer would like to know what are the specific strengthening points, what are the specific positive points in this employee, in this unemployee that he wants to know. So what are your objectives? Suppose, oh no sir, I don't get any job, I am not getting any job, that's the reason that I am applying for this company, and if I get a job, I'll do a job and I don't have any objective. When you give this very vague answer, and do you think that you are going to be selected? I think it's not like that. No, you are not going to be selected for that job. When you present your information through this functional CV, you have to be specific. You have to present your key strengths and you have to give a brief personal profile, writing your strengths and writing your outlining career objectives. So you present that I have these objectives by joining in this company. I want to move. I want to see the growth of this company. I want to, with my energy, with my talent, with my skills, I can enhance the position of this company and I want to be the CEO of this company. This is my objective. When you disclose all your objectives to that employer, the employer feels very happy and he feels elated and definitely you are going to get selection. And this is the way how you can find a room in functional CV and that you can find it. So now coming to the next one after personal, the second one is skills and abilities. The second one is skills and abilities. So what skills you have, what abilities you have. So skills and abilities. Mention the skills. Come on, my dear friend, when you are presenting your information through functional CV, by selecting functional CV. So under the heading of skills and abilities, mention the skills followed by evidence. You can't just write, I have good communicative skills without presenting evidence for that, and your writing has no value at all. And that is very important. When you say that I am proficient in 3 languages, you have to submit certificates showing that he has got diploma in these three languages, he has got certificate course in the three languages, and he has been awarded from by the so and so university, by so and so institute, that he is proficient in Hindi, he is proficient in English, he is proficient in Telugu. Like that, evidence must be produced simply by writing in the functional CV that you have these abilities, we have got these skills, and that is not going to be important, that is not going to be so taken into for gratitude, taken for granted like that. You cannot take it for granted, So you have to produce your certificate. Abilities followed by evidence. When you want to write about skills, skills are going to be so given so strength with evidence only. You have to produce the certificates. You have to attach the certificate showing that so and so person has got so proficiency, has got some skills in these areas. These are the certificates, and you have to mention abilities also. When you mention abilities, and the abilities should also be encouraged with the proper evidence. Proper evidence means here, so you have to produce certificates only. Without producing certificates, and that ability is not going to be counted for selection. Remember, designations performed. In the previous job, what was your designation? You might have been assistant manager in finance department. So that the certificate that you have to gain, that you have to get it from that company, and you have to produce that company, produce that certificate, so showing that you worked as assistant manager in that company, and that shows that whatever you write in functional CV, that is so really supported with evidence. Mere writing has no value. It doesn't gain any importance. It doesn't grab the attention of the employer. So whatever you write, there must be supporting evidence in the form of certificate. You are going to get good percentage, and you are going to create impression in the minds of the employer. So next we'll move on to the third one. Career history. Here career history means your experience. Your experience. What kind of history you possess? What is your experience? So first of all, you write a brief summary of your career. Suppose in 2010, you join in any organizations. You have been doing so different types of jobs in different companies. You try to present your brief summary about your career. Describe your roles in different companies. So you try to present a brief summary about your career, and while so summarizing your career, and you try to describe the roles that are so really enjoyed by you. What kind of the so responsibilities that you perform in your career in the past. Describe your responsibility in each job. That I want to say that one. Suppose in 2010 you join in a job, and that was your first job that you used to get so 20,000 rupees per month. So you might have worked as assistant manager, assistant manager, assistant salesperson, or whatever it might be. That you have to mention the nature of the job that you work. Later on, you got promotion, and you have to mention that one also. What kind of the salary that you got, and what was your position? What was like that? You have to mention with evidence also. So career, you have to mention your experience with supporting evidence. So you take all your experience certificates from that previous companies, and try to produce all the certificates showing that in the so and so year you worked as, in the so and so year you worked as, and with that job experience. So that whatever the thing that is going to be presented, so in the form of this functional CV, that you have to so present and produce evidence. Evidence in the sense, some experience certificates, some so certificates from the institutes, some certificates from the universities. For everything that you have to mention. For objectives, I think there is no certificate. When you want to mention about your brief career objective, so what are your key points? So you don't submit any certificate for that one. You just mention that you have these first 2 points. You have these key strengths. You can do a lot of work like that. And you can say about that, these are my objectives. But in experience, when you want to mention your experience, and everything is going to be so given with a lot of evidence also. Regarding your skills also, you have to submit your evidence. So this is the first one, personal information. Second one is career history. Now third one is career history. First one personal information. Second one is skills and abilities. Third one is career history. Next, fourth one, education and training. Fourth one, education and training. Mention the skills acquired in the course. When you were a student, did you acquire any skills? So mention that one. When you were a student in any university, when you are studying BTech degree, when you were studying your MTech degree, so did you acquire any skill, or did you acquire any number of skills while you were doing that course? So you try to mention that one and so produce the certificates. Education and training. Mention the relevant skills to the job applied. So don't present all your skills. Of course, you may present all your skills, but mention the relevant skills to the job applied. Whatever the skills that are needed, that are really wanted to that particular job, you try to mention that relevant skills and produce the certificates. You are going to get selection. That's the third one. Highlight the skills you possess for the job. You try to highlight the skills you possess for the job. Don't highlight the point which is not at all important. Sometimes, out of ignorance, some unemployed, whenever they are applying for any job, so perhaps they are not trained in that area. That's the reason. That's the reason, especially it occurs in our India and it occurs in our country, So the students, when they are in the final year, some of the institutions, they don't train up them. What are the ways? What are the ways to present their information in the form of curricular activity, in the form of resume, in the form of biodata, in the form of functional CV? They are not trained. When they are not trained, they don't know which is important and which is not important. So here I want to say only one thing: highlight the skills you possess for the job. You highlight the skill that is required for the job. Skills are important than degrees. Remember, once again, it is a bottom line sentence. Once again, it is a key point that every unemployee is supposed to know. Every job seeker has to keep in the mind when you are writing, when you are presenting your information through this functional CV. So here, skills are important than your degrees, and everything is going to be given highest importance with evidence by producing the certificate. This is the fourth one. Now coming to the fifth one: interest and achievements, additional information. Fifth one: interest and achievements, additional information. Mention your interest. So mention your interest, mention relevant interest to the job applied. Suppose there is a job notified. So receptionist, good receptionist. It requires good communicative skills. So it requires good communicative skills at least in 2 languages, English and Hindi. So mention relevant skills to that job applied. Suppose you got diplomas and certificates apart from your degree, apart from your PG in MA English. So apart from that one, if you possess any diploma or maybe any certificate course in communicative English, and that is going to be added better. So when you produce some certificates related to other languages also, so they are very important. So mention relevant interest to the job applied. Mention your interest. So I would like to convene meetings. My own interest is to contribute myself in the creative writing. My own interest is to contribute something for the communicative gatherings. Like that, these are the interest areas that you have to mention. Mention your achievements. When you were a student, did you achieve anything? When you were doing any job in a previous company, have you got any achievement from any higher authorities? So you try to mention those achievements also, and with all evidence that you can write there. Interests and achievements reflect your personality. What is the good of this one? Interest and achievements reflect your personality. When somebody looks at your interest, somebody looks at your achievements, so interest and achievements. When particular person has got this kind of interest and achievements, so all of them, they show that what kind of personality that he possesses. That reflects your personality. So that is the thing that I would like to say. Next one, sixth one and the last one. References. Write the names of two references. So just in the case of curriculum, this chronological CV, there are also two references ought to be given. Here also write the names of two references. Here option is given. Or write the names of two references available on phone. So try to give the references, the names of those people as referees. So who are ready to lift the phone calls whenever any company organizer or company manager or company employer makes a phone call to that referee. Excuse me, do you know so and so person? Sorry, sir, I have no idea about that one. I think that gives a very bad remark about your personality. That's why whenever you want to write the names of two referees, you try to give the two names of those people who are readily available on phone. So write the names of two references or write the names of two references available on phone. That is the thing. So in that way, 6 things have been discussed. Now, sample. This is called sample functional CV. So here I am going to present to you how you are going to present functional CV. A sample is given which includes 6 sections like personal information, skills and abilities, career history, and about your about your education and training, so and interest and achievements, and about your references. Once again, we'll have the glance with this sample functional CV. So this is the way how one person who wants to get employment, you must have the discipline of presenting your information through this functional CV. So you have to present in such a manner, it is going to create very good impression upon the employer. So this is the best way. So presenting your personal profile, don't just write only one line and just leave that one. And it's not going to create any impression upon the mind of that employer. So you try to present your information in a clear manner, in a very clear manner. When you want to submit the information in a clear and detailed manner, so functional CV is the right one that you can present all your interest, all your achievements, all your job gaps. So you can mention your gap dislocations in the job. You can mention your skills, abilities, and personal information, your objectives, and everything that you can mention about even references also. So you want to mention 2 names of the references. If they are not ready to lift the phone calls, and try to select another 2 names of the persons. So who are ready to lift the phone calls and just give very positive opinion about yourself. Like that, you need to present this kind of beautiful, excellent, functional CV, and I'm sure that you are going to get employment very easily, because this is the mirror that shows. Though that person, the employer, doesn't see you personally, first of all, he creates an impression on you. Yeah, just by reading your functional CV. The employer doesn't see you the very beginning. He doesn't invite you for interview. He doesn't invite you for group discussion. He doesn't invite you for any employment. He just goes through the CVs which are presented by the unemployed. So when you present your information in such a manner through this functional CV, and you are going to create good impression in the mind of that employer. So this is called sample functional CV. Next, we'll come to the conclusion. So this is all about we have known about the types of CVs very clearly, that we know what are the types of CVs are there. There are 7 types of CVs are there. The first one is chronological CV. Second one is functional CV. So like targeted CV, mini CV, so compiled profile. So all 7 types are there. But so we came to know about chronological CV in the previous video, and in the present video lesson, that we know everything about the types of CVs We know about the features of functional CV. We know the structure and sections of functional CV, and we know sample of functional CV. That's a very, very important sample of functional CV. And so after preparing this functional CV, I just want to say one thing to all young friends, So after writing everything through this functional CV, you just prepare one covering letter, and that covering letter may be 3 to 5 lines, and write a covering letter and send your CV with a covering letter to the employer. And I'm sure maybe within no time you are going to get an interview you are going to get an interview letter from that company. So based on your presentation, based on your presentation of skills, educational degrees, based on your interest, and that you have presented based on your abilities that you have presented. So the employer goes through your information through the functional CV, and if he feels impressed by that one, so I'm sure that when you present your information like this, as shown in the sample functional CV, I'm sure that you are going to get interview card, and I'm sure that you are going to get selection also. So saying like that, I'm so glad that I have explained to you. I have made very clear information. I just created very good impression upon the minds of all the viewers, and what's meant by this functional CV, what is the need of functional CV, and what is the difference between chronological CV and functional CV, what items are included in the functional CV, how best you can present the functional CV, what are going to be produced as a support of evidence, and that all those things. And you can also prepare one covering letter, and so with that covering letter you can send that one to the employer, and I'm sure that you are going to get selection. So nice. Thank you very much for being with me and listening to me, and really we enjoyed ourselves, and we came to know very good things about this functional CV. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.